Hi everyone, welcome back to the Be Rich podcast. I have Dana with me again, and we have another doozy of a topic for you. Dana has found something which has been plaguing him. The thought of this. He always wonders if he's doing the right thing when it comes to his money and his investments. And I thought this topic would be very useful for all you youngsters out there who are like Dana, wondering if you're doing the right thing with your money. So Dana, what do you have for me today? What can we share?
Sir, in our both channels, we are telling rich is getting more richer, poor is getting more poorer. So this statement is truly correct. From my understanding, rich was focusing on the assets, but poor is focusing on the liabilities. So what is I mean means poor as focus to be a rich. Their only motto to poor to be rich. So their transformation into poor to rich. So they are focusing on what the rich does. So like rich was having the luxury cars, luxury brands, luxury mobiles. Everything will be the luxurious brand. So they are thinking like, so if we are buying the rich products, luxury items, we will be become the rich. So but they are not care about how the rich was created the assets and then they are buying that, so they are not aware about that. They are buying in a liabilities. If the rich has buy a car, they can also buy car, but they are in the assets like dividends in our share market. So those dividends they are buying the car, but they are buying the car in a EMI, and then they are filling the trap. So and they are filling the trap in the liabilities. So what will be the difference, sir? So if they are if they rich and poor,
Well,
their
this is a
mind.
great question. Well, this is a great question. I'll tell you a good example for you.
Mm.
In your generation, okay, to the last generation, if you see, there's a huge mind shift in Indian society when it comes to having children. In your father's time, children were
Mm.
all considered assets because you have a child, you have
Mm.
extra hand in the house, you
Correct.
have someone to take care of you when you're old.
Mm.
And the amount of investment you have to do in the child in terms of money and everything is small compared to the amount of benefits you're going to get from having
Mm.
the child. So people had many child because more children you had, the more assets you had, the
So
more
they are considering
flexibility
as
you
a
had.
assets.
Yes. Now what has happened because of the cost of education, the cost of healthcare, the cost of everything has pushed everything. Where having a child has become a liability. Where now, if I take all the money I have to spend in
Mm.
educating, in taking care of the child, in clothing, feeding for 20 years, then
Mm.
reaping the benefits, if I take all that money and I put it in a mutual fund, I'll have so much money by the time I'm 60. I won't need to worry about having a child. I'll have enough money to take care of myself.
Mm.
Then I don't have the headache of listening constantly, arguing, fighting. So
Mm.
children have become more of a liability nowadays. So
Mm.
people don't want to have children anymore. That is the main reason where people are like your generation. I think
Mm.
it's called dink or whatever you guys call
Ding
it.
or ding ding.
Yeah, so you don't
Mm.
want to have children anymore. You want to just be, people don't even want to get married because marriage is another headache. Again, money goes into it. If I take all that money and I put it, invest it, I can retire even earlier instead of waiting till the age of 60 to retire. If I don't get married and I put all that
Mm.
money, it also, I can retire by the age of 40 and do
40.
it even sooner. Yeah, sir. I'll have all this money and oh, this the whole thing has become a liability now, the way it's
Mm.
being looked at. And that brings me to what asset and liability is. So, what is an asset? Well, an
Mm.
asset is something you do the math of everything you put inside and everything you have. At the end of it, it should give you something in return.
Mm.
That is an asset. What is a liability? Everything you put inside and everything, and you do minus, you still have to
Mm.
keep putting into it. That
Mm.
becomes a liability. Like you rightly said, the reason why the rich are getting richer is they have managed to create different streams of
Mm.
things which are just growing without them doing anything. So that
Okay.
becomes an asset. So be
Mm.
it mutual funds, be it
Mm.
in stocks, be it in
Mm.
gold. Like Anand was saying, if I had
Mm.
bought gold when Anand told me 2 years ago and I kept it, did
Mm.
nothing, that has
Mm.
just doubled.
Doubled.
If I bought 7 lakhs of worth of gold, now it's 14 lakhs. I didn't do anything. I didn't
Correct.
have to take any risk. I did not have to
Mm.
do anything. And that too, if I bought electronic gold, even better. I didn't have to pay for bank lockers, worry about anything, and it's just growing. And the rich that we are growing. Because if I had bought shares and I had bought mutual funds, 5 years back, and or when the pandemic crash happened, I had
Mm.
moved in and I had bought in. I moved all my wealth into that. Right now, I'll be worth 200, 300% more per
Mm.
stock in an average, and that is wealth. And that's what is happening. And the rich have been doing that very effectively. They also
Mm.
buy cars, they also buy
Correct.
houses,
Mm.
they also take loans, but they make sure net, all the money that goes in
Mm.
and what is coming out will always be more than what I'm putting in. They
Mm.
make sure the equation is such that the
Mm.
amount of energy I'm putting in is compared to what I'm getting back will always be more. But
Mm.
we, the poor, what we do is we don't see that. We are
Mm.
thinking the energy we're putting in, we don't care about what is coming out. We are more worried about consuming. And that is a problem. And the biggest issue is living beyond your means. When you said about
Correct.
cars, for example,
Mm.
yes, you need a car. But
Mm.
why do you need a car? I need to get from here to office every day. But do
Correct.
you really need a car to get to your office? Is the first question. Do
Mm.
you? Is there no bus? Is there no trains? Or can you not
Mm.
carpool? Can't a bike work for you? So you have to be very honest with those questions. And
Mm.
then if you come, yes, no, 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 you have to buy a car, no option, okay. But you
Mm.
have to buy the car which you're looking at. You know, can't car at half the price do the same work?
Mm.
I'm not saying you have to buy a second-hand car because your generation won't like second-hand cars. You must buy
No, sir.
new.
We only knew.
So I understand that, but does it have to be a sedan? Can't a small car do the same thing? A 3 lakh car, isn't it also a car good enough? So wherever you can cut, you tend not to cut
Mm.
because there you're like, no, no, I can afford it. Really? It's not a question of can you afford it. Are you being smart? I know you can afford it, but isn't spending less and paying taking that extra money you just spent on the EMI and investing it, wouldn't that be smarter?
Correct. Correct.
So, 40 years from now, you don't have to go to office. Imagine that.
Mm.
Right now you hate your job. You hate getting up in the morning and going, driving like one crazy person, swearing at people on the road, and, cursing them and going to work and putting up with some horrible boss who's torturing you. Imagine all that went away and you are free to do whatever you want whenever you want. That's what we all want. So why can't you make that sacrifice now? Take that extra money and invest it. And that's what the rich do.
Exactly.
And once you create your first, 1 crore is very difficult, Dana. But going
Mm.
from 1 crore to 10 crores is very easy. And going from 10 crores to 100 crores is even easier. Because what happens is it's like having a huge plantation. You can't eat
Mm.
all the fruits there.
Correct. Correct.
If you have 100-acre mango farm,
Mm.
how many mangoes will you eat? So
Just a
that's what I'm trying
calculation.
to say. Yeah. So this is all easy to say, and it's easy for you to understand,
Mm.
but it requires discipline.
Correct.
And until and unless you create that mental model and that
Mm.
frame of mind where you are disciplined, you will never achieve it. The reason why people don't lose weight, the people who reason why they don't put on muscles, the people why they do not get 100 marks, it's not because they don't have the skill. We
Mm.
have enough, all human beings have enough skill and enough brains and enough physical endurance to do these things. The reason why we don't achieve it is simple reason is we don't lack the mental discipline to apply yourself. And do realize something, all the people who become
Mm.
rich are not people who are smart.
Okay.
Okay, we are
Mm.
told this false notion that if you're a genius, you become a billionaire. Like Elon
Yeah.
Musk is a genius. No.
Mm.
Okay, most people who are become rich like that, one, it's luck. Okay, a bit of
Okay.
luck always helps, but
Mm.
then it's taking that opportunity of luck and making it
Mm.
into something. All
Okay.
of us every day, just believe me or not, even now, you're having some luck
Mm.
happening. But the smart person will take that luck and change that luck into the door, opening the door
Okay.
into making sure it takes them somewhere, make them
Mm.
count. You know, you get a sudden bonus in your hand. That is
Mm.
luck. But what do you do with that bonus? If you're going to go have a party with your friends, it's your
Finish.
choice. But yeah, but if you take that and invest, that's being smart. So be smart.
Mm.
Okay. Asset and liability, yes, it's important to understand. Only in the terms of what is an asset. Asset is
Mm.
that something that you put and then keeps on
Mm.
giving you returns is an
Mm.
asset. What is a liability that keeps on taking away from you and not giving you anything back in return? It's a
Mm.
liability. Once you understand that, how do you apply that? Is the question.
Okay.
Okay. I hope
Correct.
that helps you understand.
Mm. I understand, sir, but my generations are understanding like if a person was with like a costliest phone or costliest bike, he is a rich. So I don't want to be a financially rich. I will act like a rich. So I
Oh, that
want
is very
my.
easy to fix. Oh, that is so easy to fix. If all you're feeling is you're feeling poor because
Mm.
people around you have iPhones and you can't afford iPhone, that is the reason why
Mm.
your generation is feeling poor. All you have to do is go hang out with people who are poorer than you. Go back to your village. You go back to your village, you'll be a rich man. So it's just a company which you keep. If the people around you are driving BMWs and they're all having, Rolex watch and they're all
Mm.
having private jet, and you're feeling poor, it's not anything but easy to fix. Move to a different place.
We need to compete with the man. We need to buy whatever they buy. We need to buy
Yes, but
in
that is not
EMI.
competition. No, no, that is not competition. That is not competition. That is trying to be stupid. That's like
Correct.
going to a bar and watching someone drink who's an alcoholic, and you're
Mm.
starting to drink for the first time. You look at an alcoholic and say, I'm going to keep up with that man, and start guzzling
Mm.
bottles. You'll only kill yourself in no time. That man has been a drunkard for years. He's been drinking for years. His liver is gone. So there's
Mm.
no way you can keep up with that. So only thing is you ruin yourself. And that kind of attitude is what it is. That's the best comparison I can give you. You walk into a Tasmac shop for the first time and you decide to see the guy who's hammered and decide to say,
Mm.
I'll be like him. No, that is the wrong way to approach life. Yes,
Mm.
competition is healthy, but your competition should be on the right things.
Mm.
If the guy has an iPhone, if the guy has, first find out if he's really rich. He may
Mm.
be doing what you're doing, buying things on EMI, just showing outside. Reality is he's a beggar inside. First minute he loses his job, he
Mm.
disappears. You read so many sad stories. People are living on EMI, lose their job, and commit suicide also.
Mm. Correct.
So don't assume this is just because you see on the outside,
Mm.
everything inside is also doing very well. You cannot judge a person's health condition by looking at their face. No doctor will look at your face and say, you're healthy. Then he's not a good doctor. Same way, don't judge people like that. So
Mm.
my advice would be have competition, but
Mm.
compete on the right things. First person you should compete with is yourself. Correct? You should
Mm.
have the person you should always be competing is with yourself. What people look at you and your reputation is what people tell you or feel about you. That is not important. What you have, your own self-respect, is what is most
Mm.
important. You should be able to get up in the morning every day, look at the mirror, and respect yourself. And if you're not able to do that, first work on that. People cannot give you self-respect. If you're
Mm.
thinking, I must buy iPhone, I must buy the latest
Mm.
Ninja bike, and then only people
Mm.
will respect me, that is not respect. That is
Mm.
being so shallow that you don't want to look at yourself in the mirror, that you're expecting everybody else to look up at you and say, like you see those typical movie stars, no? They must
Mm.
have fans around them going, hey, 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 hey. They show in the movie that typical
Ah.
movie star. Yeah. Then you are a very shallow person. Money cannot fix it, and even having things will not fix it. Okay. That
Mm.
is a very easy problem to fix. If you're feeling poor, just change
Mm.
your friends, change your circle of friends.
So, from my understanding, so you can also understand. So, being rich is creating like assets. Okay, so they are focusing on the assets, not on the liabilities. They are more even what we know. We are only seeing that they are buying the costliest things. We are only seeing that, but we are not seeing about how they are generating the money, how they are having the assets. So we are not focusing on that. We are only focusing on the richest thing they are buying. We need to buy. So this is a poor mindset. We need to change. As per what the has told, we need to be change the competence. Like one change the environment of us. So I think this video will be helpful for who those are want to act like a rich. We will be change our mindset. I think this video will be helpful for you.
So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us today and watching this video. I hope you found it informative and entertaining as always. And me and Dana will come up again soon and we'll talk about something else Dana has been thinking about. Thank you.
Thank you.